Amazing. So hopefully we're live. Maybe I'll just quickly check on my phone to see if that's worked. How did you find it with your challenge and going live?
I think it's live. I just received a notification from
Leigh
Wallett is now live.
Okay, excellent, with Sandrine, yay. So I like to do this like super informally, so it's just like a conversation. But what it would be really nice to get is an understanding of your business, how you got set up, and everything like that. But before we dive into the details, maybe we can just catch up a little bit first. So firstly, it'd be great if you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your business, what you do, and like what you offer. And I'm going to mute in between because of this drilling in the background.
Okay, yeah, so my name is Sandrine. I'm founder of Whole Grade Consulting. I'm coaching female entrepreneur who run an online business to attract and sign clients more easily. So to do that, we use high impact marketing strategies. So this is what I do.
And how did you get into this? Did you have a background in marketing? Like, when did you decide to go and work on your own?
Yeah, that's quite a long story. So my background is very corporate. So I come from a business school and then a major in marketing and then a master in marketing. Worked for a few years, marketing and sales, and then I found out it was missing some meaningful job, something like that. And then at the same time, with my partner, we decided to chase our dreams and live abroad. So we moved to Denmark. So that was kind of a short period where I was like, should I like quit my job and then move there? But then I have nothing yet. Or what should I do? So it was like a transition period. And then we moved here. So I was like, okay, then maybe it's time for me to test the waters of being an entrepreneur, because that was not in my plan at all. Like I was very happy with with the box that I was in until I couldn't find like the meaningful, the sense behind it. So test the waters, had a few clients, and now I'm actually quite happy with the life that I created.
That's amazing. So how long ago was that? When did you make the jump and start your own business?
So I had the idea like a year ago, and then when I stumbled onto a Facebook ad of the bucket list bombshells. I don't know if you know it. And then I took their course, and then it gave me like the courage to start in January this year. So I started as a marketing consultant for eco-friendly startups. And then slowly I moved this summer to coaching female entrepreneur.
Amazing. That's such a good transition. And what I love, so we met online through Instagram through a mutual friend of ours. Well, and also she's a friend of mine through Instagram, Sam. How did you meet Sam? Was it also through Instagram?
Yes, actually, through Instagram, and then she reached out on LinkedIn. And then we had a conversation, and then she's a really cool person. So yeah.
Right. Yeah, I've loved this about this year of like connecting with more people online and building this online community. But so I've got to know you through your Instagram account. And what I love is when you run those questions where you like get to know me and answer these different like questions about myself. So I feel like I know you through your stories. But the one thing that I learned was that you postponed your wedding, didn't you, because of Corona?
Yeah, it was supposed to be in May this year. And then, we basically had to postpone it because it was like too hectic in France, because I'm from France. And it was like, difficult. So now we are postponing it to April. But now with the second outbreak, it's a bit hard, but fingers crossed.
I mean, I'm just thinking what a crazy year that is for you to start your own, like, so you moved to Denmark.
Yeah.
Did you move this year? You started your own business. You were planning on getting married, and then like everything's shifted.
Yeah.
So that's
you have to be like you have to be quick on your feet and be flexible.
Totally. Are you glad that you made the move when you did?
To Denmark?
just to Denmark and to starting your own business? Are you glad that you did it at the start of this year?
I think yeah, because it's like I learned like so many things. Honestly, like it's incredible. But yeah, I'm really happy with being here in Denmark. It's a beautiful country, and we are very well settled in. And yeah, the business is it's growing, so I'm happy.
Yeah, that's great. Because I think I started my business this year too, and I think it's actually a really good timing with COVID, because it's great to have a remote job right now. Like, even though I couldn't do the travel part, having a remote job is like, I'm set up for this kind of environment.
And then a lot of people moved online as well. So I think it made the freelancer job less weird because everyone was doing it. So
totally, it's more normal. And did you plan on traveling? Do you want to be based in Denmark, or are you going to start traveling when you can?
I think no, we are going to stay here. Yeah,
that's the plan. Amazing. And so tell me a little bit maybe about some of you made a change. So you started with
eco-friendly startups, yeah.
And then you moved more to coaching. So what was it that made you make that transition?
Yeah. So there are like two things that change, right? The first, the eco-friendly to women entrepreneur. So that I realized that most of the eco-friendly startup that I was helping, the CEO was a female, like a woman. So I was like, okay, this is a way to broaden like a bit and then focus on service-based business. And also the shift from consulting, which had more of a, well, totally done for you type of services, to a coaching where you're less, a bit less hands-on, let's say, than a consultant. So for this reason, it was because of a budget thing for the special niche that I was in. Because as a consultant, your rate is very high, and I was like, okay, this type of services is not aligned with what my ideal client can afford or is looking for. So maybe I can show them and teach them how they can do this type of things. So that's how I transitioned from consulting to coaching. And eco-friendly, yeah, that's basically just very easy.
That's amazing. What a good transition. And now recently you just ran a challenge and you've launched, is that a new service that you've launched, or is it relaunching a package you have? So do you want to tell me about that?
Yeah. So I ran a free challenge, a 5-day free challenge about email marketing, and which led to the offer that I was launching, which is a 6-week program. Where we lay out like every week the foundation to attract and sign more clients. So very exciting.
Yeah, that's amazing. So you've grown a lot, like since the start of the year, where you were focusing on one niche, you've like learned within a short space of time to like how to serve your clients in a better way with coaching, how to create new offers. Maybe tell me a little bit around, so you said you started with a course. Did that course help you figure out what your like first package was going to be? Is that how you framed it?
It's a funny story because obviously when you know marketing and all of that, but you don't know how to run a business, like when you start with with bookkeeping and taxes. So this is like the part that I enjoyed the less of my business, but so in that course, Bucket List Bombshell, so like the promise was you can work from everywhere you want on the planet, and yeah, there was travel and travel and learn something. And so they had a package of how to launch your business. So pricing, packages, and then set up your business. Obviously, it was more tailored to the USA, but it was not very difficult. And then another package, another course that I took from them was a tech and design course. I was like, okay, since I'm not having a full-time job yet, so let's learn some new skills. So I learned some design skills that allow me to just learn how to create some logos, this type of thing. So that's why I started with my own logo until I rebrand this summer with a professional designer, which was much better. But they helped me with the consulting packages. But then it was like a test and learn. You have to test the water with your packages. So that's how I realized that it was a bit too much, like as a budget compared to my niche. and then you have to tweak it, and then to the coaching is quite easy because now I've learned a lot. And then there's coaching community on Instagram that I was unaware of before you start, but then when you dive in, you see like coach everywhere. And that make the process easier. And I also hired like coaches along the way who helped me package that.
Amazing. So maybe tell me, who are some of the coaches that you've hired along the way? Did you find like specialist skill sets, or was it just people who resonated with you? What were you looking for?
So the first coach that I had, she's Megan. She's a sales coach. But funny thing is that I basically worked with her like 4 days after I found out about her. So because she has like a really great energy, it was really fast. Like I'm also a really quick investor. So she helped me not on the sales side, but more on the coaching, the packages, this type of things. And then this summer I worked with Hayley, which is she's also a marketing coach. And it's so funny because at first I was like, should a marketing coach have a marketing coach? You know, isn't it weird? But then no, sometimes you just need like an extra brain who knows your stuff and who knows marketing as well as you do, so she can see from another view. And so we worked on my messaging and basically the program that I'm launching now. So
yeah, I found it so helpful. I think especially if this is your job, you need to see the value in the work that you do. So if you're wanting to be a marketing coach, then you need to hire a marketing coach, like the same way I work with business coaches. Like if there is value in that service.
Yeah, I just felt a bit weird when I DM her like, do you work with marketing coach? Like very being shy, you know, like, is it weird? And she, no, it's fine. It's perfect. So we can like also grow faster as well because she doesn't have to explain like the basics and all of that. So, so that's also cool.
Yeah, that's great. And are you working, is it just you running your business, or do you have anyone else supporting you?
Yeah. No, I don't have a team yet. No, it's just me.
Because I find that like also there is something to be said like with that second mind. It's like there's only so much as one person that you can do that big picture strategic thinking and the tactical details. Like sometimes it's just helpful to have a conversation and bounce ideas around.
And sometimes when you're so caught up in doing like really practical stuff, like create your post for Instagram is very like specific, that you just forget like, okay, this is why I create this. This is like the goal. This is who I want to reach and these type of things. So really helps. I really love my time with her. And
Yeah, that's wonderful. Maybe could you think of some advice based on everything that you've learned this year so far with the coaches you worked with, you're running your own business, practicing. If you were starting out again, what advice would you give yourself at the start of this year?
Ooh, that's hard. I'd say the biggest advice, you're gonna laugh. The biggest advice is do extensive market research. Because if I had done that before, then I would realize that my coaching packages were not aligned and not realize that on the way. And even when I started my coaching business, like transiting from consulting to coaching, I had to redo market research because it's a whole other world. And I've done that. Sometimes people forget about that because they are either confident about what they assume they know, or they just don't think about that. They just like obviously you want to create what you desire, but if this doesn't hit home for someone else, then that's not the point. So I'd say market research. I'd say don't be afraid to get help. It's not, don't be ashamed or anything. It's just like more empowering. And also be less judgmental about yourself. Sometimes like the hardest judge is just you know.
Totally. And
so yeah,
that's great advice. I love that. Yeah, because I think there's definitely we get so caught up in what we think, either that we believe we know the truth and we just go with that rather than getting validation, or we just judge ourselves too critically and we like, it stops us from taking action.
It's like the two extreme, like, you know.
Yeah, where it's like, just actually get that feedback, do the research, test, and don't be so like afraid of doing something.
Like I really like the fact that you do like a lot of experimenting, right? You're documenting, trying, testing things out, and it's very inspiring. Like a lot of people should that, and me included, you know, like testing more, see how things work. How do you feel about that offer, but how your audience feel about that offer as well. And
absolutely. Because this is what I think about market research, is that you have the best market research is actually getting that direct feedback from your clients, from your audience. So unless you have something to show them, it's hard to get that like legitimate feedback. But on the market research side of things, what would you say are your like go-to tips for doing market research? Is there anything you found that works like particularly well when you're researching your market?
Yeah. The first round that I did market research, I used surveys, which are great. But then the second round, I use interview calls, like Zoom calls. And I would recommend that like thousand times. It's like wonderful tool. You can like actually create like really genuine and authentic conversation. It's very natural to ask question, and you can like be more flexible, add question, remove question, ask to rephrase, elaborate more. It's the best use of your time and the time of the person that you're interviewing. That's my best tool, honestly. Yeah, the best.
That's amazing. And how did you go about finding those people to schedule the interviews with?
So most of them, I found them through my Instagram, but I wanted to have a good mix of people that I have already been engaging with, and people that I don't know anything about, but they were still in my niche. So I basically just asked those person that I haven't been engaging with, that I just asked like, hey, I'm doing market research. Would you be okay to jump on a call? And they were all very nice to say yes. And that's how I also connected with really cool people. And also as a, as a thank you, I also offered a 30-minute coaching for their time. And it also like went really well because it's like 30 minutes on their business, and you get to know their struggle, how you can help them, even though it's very short on 30 minutes, but you can actually move the needle a bit further for them. And that's great. So so now we are like basically like really online friends with them. So that's cool.
That's wonderful. And I find sometimes even like a 10-minute coaching conversation can add value. So it's not really about the time, it's about the insights you can deliver.
Exactly.
And sorry, go for it.
No, I would say like, and another tip that I would say is it's be a very good listener as well. Like the moment of silence, they mean a lot. So listen to that, and if they're still looking for their words or something like that, then let them. Don't jump and say, yeah, I know what you're saying, or like that.
Definitely, yeah. The actual language that your customers use is so valuable to really understand what they need. Yeah, and numbers of people. How many people did you have those conversations with?
Yeah, I had a market research of 8 people.
Okay, that's a good number.
Yeah, so compared to surveys you obviously can have a bigger reach, but because these 8 conversations were very deep, then you actually get like a lot of info. As long as you target your niche very well at first, so you don't have like people who are not your ideal clients.
That's great. Yeah, I always say around like even 5 people is enough if you want that like deep insight. So eight's a good number. And on that, I would be interested in knowing, so you joined my challenge, which was that Vision of Success challenge, which I was so happy to have you in the group. Have you got a vision of success for your business? Like, what does success look like for you? And do you know what you're working towards?
Yeah, during your challenge, I worked on my vision of success for my life. Like you asked for the mood board and all of that. But for the business side, I'd say to keep empowering women to chase their dreams, actually. And so if I can be part of their journey, even if for a small time, then I'll be super happy to give them the tool so that can feel like more confident, have more clarity, and get them closer, to their goals.
What's your ideal number of clients that you want to work with?
On one-on-one, 5 is like good.
Amazing. That's so good. And how long do you work with them for? Is it like a month or longer than that?
So with my program, it's a 6-week program. And I have also intensive, which are basically like one shot, one call, and then you have 2 weeks to implement.
Yeah. And that's like 5 is also a good number. I think that's something else that I try and talk to people when they're starting their new businesses. You're not talking about huge volumes of people. You're finding like 5 people at a time to work with. That's generally less than 10 people. So that can also help make things less intimidating when you're thinking, okay, how can I identify 5 people who would be my ideal clients?
Yeah. And imagine like 10 people. It's like, I don't know how I could run that for, like it's how do you keep track? Like, oh, this person is here, this person is there. I'd be like completely lost. I'd rather have like 5 people. I'm all in with them like for 6 weeks, and then we're moving on to a next group.
Definitely. And you work with them in a group?
No. I sit on one-on-one. Yeah.
Okay. That's great. That's beautiful. And is this long-term, do you see your business growing at all, or do you prefer working on your own as a solopreneur?
I think that there are, like, if I think very practical, then there are things that I like to outsource. So there are things that I need help with on the practical side. But then the future, I think, I would love to have like 2-3 members on my team to support me to grow and scale if the business goes that way.
And what are the things that you'd like to outsource first? What's your like dream thing you'd like to hand over?
Many things. So I'm still debating if I should outsource like the like, for example, like, the creating the graphic for Instagram, like the very practical things, or hire a business coach first. So that's kind of debate. Like, should you like get rid of the task first so you can focus on your business, or should you like build a strategy first and then I don't know. It's
I know, and I think it's going to be both at some point. It's just what comes first. Yeah,
that's what you think.
I do think, because I think it's different roles and different values, and I feel like as a solopreneur, this is what's hard, is that it's so beneficial to work in a more team-like structure. So how do you work, even if they're not like direct members of your team, but how do you start outsourcing work?
Exactly. I would love to have a bookkeeper as well, so I cannot I cannot wait, honestly.
That's number one.
I can't wait. Like right now, like I can deal it with the tax, and because I'm based in Denmark, obviously the language is Danish. I don't speak Danish yet very well, so it's also makes it more difficult for me to handle all these things. So bookkeeping, eventually the creation of posts, and a copywriter as well. I bet she knows it.
That's great. And then in terms of your personal life, I'm also interested, do you do any other online courses for like hobbies or lifestyle? Is there any other like areas that you invest in outside of your business?
Well, I'm investing in learning Danish, if that's if that counts. No, for now it's just like Danish. I also take dance class. And yoga.
Yeah, that's really nice. And is that all online at the moment?
No, it's no, because we're in Denmark, we're not in lockdown, hopefully. So no, I go to class.
Okay, that's nice. Yeah, it's interesting to see everyone's different experiences around the world right now. Yeah. In South Africa, they've opened up, so technically I could go back to like a yoga class or a gym, but I'm now out of the habit. So I'm like, it's weird. I'm trying to reintroduce things back into my life after I don't even know how many months of not really going out that much.
Mm-hmm. And maybe like they have like limited mats, maybe like for the yoga.
Yeah, everything's much smaller, but Yeah, it's weird. It's more like a headspace thing that I need to remember what life was like before. I'm so used to just being
Right.
yeah, just used to being indoors. And on that, in terms of working on your own, do you go and work in coffee shops? Do you prefer working in your home environment? Like, how do you structure your days?
So that's again like before Corona and then Corona. So then funny thing is that, you know, like obviously my niche is women entrepreneurs who run an online business, and I teach digital marketing. But the first 3 clients that I found, it's actually in real life when I go to co-working space, events, coffee, and all of that. So that was kind of a curious for me, because I thought that I would find everyone online first, but then actually like, when you create a relationship like outside of your business, then word of mouth work really well as well. So I used to work in coffee shops, but now with COVID, I got used to working from home actually. Yeah, I haven't worked in coffee shop for a while, and when I wanted like this bubble of focus, I worked in a library.
That's really smart. I like that idea.
I felt like a student again, you know.
Yes, I love that. I love libraries. That's a great idea. And that's interesting what you say about clients, because I had the same experience. And even so, also my clients are mostly in different countries. I wasn't expecting on being in South Africa. I was just coming home to see my family, and then I was going to be traveling.
Yeah.
So I'd met some clients when I was in Mexico. I connected with other entrepreneurs there. Some of them became my clients. I've worked with people online, but I've been surprised to have that similar experience of when I have gone to coffee shops here, I had conversations. It's actually led to more clients locally, which, yeah, I'd kind of discounted that.
Yeah, exactly. Like especially when you just like you thought that you were just coming home like for a few weeks or month in South Africa.
Yeah.
Like I just moved to a country that I don't speak the language, you know. So like how can I find like clients in Denmark? But then yeah, it's got a really good surprise.
That's amazing. And then maybe tell me a little bit more about what's working for you in terms of getting clients. Like, are there like your go-tos that are more successful in generating and finding new clients, or are you just experimenting with lots of different ways of connecting with people?
Yeah.
What's it like at the moment?
I'm more experimenting because I'm working like I'm solopreneur. So there's some other things that I would platform that I would like to activate, like having a blog so I can attract like more people to my website and do SEO and all of these things. So that's on my to-do list. But right now I'm on Instagram, Facebook groups, and email. So for now, these are the 3 platforms that I'm using. And I say that the tip is like not to, how do you say that? To be on too many platforms, like more platforms that you can actually handle. Yeah, start small, start with the platform that you're the most comfortable with. And Instagram worked really well, actually. I know that as a marketing person, I don't want to rely 100% on Instagram, because there's so many more like platforms to activate, and so many clients that you can actually get outside of an Instagram. But it works really well because I think it's like a community, but also a one-on-one touch, like in the DMs and all of that, unless you have a team or you're a bot. But besides that, it's very like personal connection, so it's very easy. Email, I'm still experimenting because I have rather small list for now, so I'm testing like I'm being very active for now on email. So I'm testing like the subject lines, all of these things, so I can be more accurate.
Yeah, that's right. And I would definitely recommend all the videos from your challenge going to stay in your Facebook group.
No, I took them down yesterday. It was
Okay.
supposed to be like for 2 weeks.
Okay.
And then the goal is to grow that Facebook group.
Amazing. And will you run that challenge again, do you think?
Probably, but not like in the following weeks. And I was really happy with that because I had like a lot of value. I had a really good feedback as well. And because it was like very niche on email, but also very, we covered a lot of topics during that challenge. It made it like very intense.
Yeah, it was really good. I think though, because my like go-to tip for people is to create that email list, like create a freebie, a landing page, and an email list. And that's like your minimum viable product. Like that's my go-to. And that's your challenge was so like a really great in-depth way of getting that email list started. So
yeah, and also showing your expertise as well. And people also get it's I think it's the quickest way for a person not knowing you at all to knowing you like quite well after 5 days.
Definitely. It's pretty, yeah, running a challenge is a really, really great way of getting like active. It's almost like, yeah, they're getting a taster of what your groups or coaching is like.
Yeah, it was really fun, honestly. But the funny thing is that I knew that that I was going to be exhausted after the challenge because you put so much energy, like every day going live. But it still surprised me. What do you think after your challenge?
I felt really energized at first, and I was like so inspired. I had so many ideas, and it's definitely that feedback that's like motivating. And I feel like most of the business owners I work with, we like, if you're getting that client engagement, then you like, I can do anything. And I'm like, I want to keep doing more. But it was probably like a week after the challenge, I was like, okay, I need a break. I was exhausted. So it was like, it gave me a lot of energy, but then I also needed just some time to decompress because it was very full on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing that I really like about your challenge is that because it was less of a live video thing, but more like a video explaining the workbook. So it was like both, I'd say passive homework, but also like a mix of a live and then passive homework as well that you worked before. So it was really interesting. Like a format is not very common. So yeah.
Thanks. Yeah, I just love making workbooks. It's like one of my favorite things to do. So I think that was more like a personal, I enjoy like journal prompts and workbooks. And then I would like it to be more conversational, but I think if I did it again, I'd probably do like a Zoom group or something like that, where you can have more of a conversation, because those lives are very like one way, which is kind of tricky.
Yeah, and then you have like this delay,
Exactly.
that makes it weird. You're just waiting.
Yes, exactly. Like ask a question like, are people even hearing me? Who's watching? Like, yeah, but also this is the whole point of experimenting. So you learn those things and you figure out what works and what you could do differently, because you don't know those challenges until you've tried it.
No, yeah, exactly.
And I think the integration for me is way easier, like doing streaming like from Zoom to Facebook. I think I was a little bit nervous almost of like the technical side of things, and that's really straightforward. So I definitely would also encourage people just to give it a go and try something so you can learn about the tech side of things.
Yeah, exactly. Like also like so you have to go to the paid version of Zoom to be able to broadcast it to Facebook. So I did that. But then I just like found out like last week that you have like StreamYard. Have you heard of that?
No.
So it's a software, but it's inside your browser.
Okay.
And it allows you to stream and then share your screen, because that's what I wanted to do. Like not only go live, but also share my screen, because I had a lot of slides. And StreamYard does it for free.
Oh,
so
nice.
that's just a pro tip if someone wants to do that.
I love it. Great. Yeah, I'll try and find like links that we can share with people, because those are the secret tips that just make all the difference when you're getting started, of like what tech do you use? How do you get set up?
Yeah.
So important. Yeah, the other thing I'd love to know more about, we're talking about like working in coffee shops, working from home, but how are you with a routine? Like, do you have any routines that you follow or any productivity tips? Like, how do you structure your days for your work?
I think, so I am a very organized person, but when it comes to routine, I'm very bad. Like it's very hard for me to stick to a routine. For everything, for workouts, everything is very, I don't know. I guess it takes like a habits, like 21 days, 28 days, something like that, to stick to a routine and then make it like a normal thing to do. But so I had to test out, okay, having calls like every day is not sustainable for me. So I have like Wednesday and Thursday for client calls. On Sunday evening, I plan out the week ahead so that on Monday I'm just like going strong and refreshed. So I don't have to be like, oh, this is what I do this week. And it gets very hectic. I struggle also to time block. I heard it was like a really good technique to get things moving. But yeah, it's because I don't know, like I'm multitasking, like you open like this tab and then you go to rabbit hole on this and this and this, and then you'll be like, okay, what did I do today? So so I won't say that I have a routine. I'm still working on this. But I'm trying, like, because I want to be like more efficient and more mindful with my time, and yeah.
Yeah, it is hard. And I feel like even if I do something for 21 days, there's always the chance that you like relapse, like you can go backwards and like go back into old patterns. So I don't think there's like a hard and fast way of making things stick and establishing a routine. And I also like to create space that is just that flow time where you can be creative and because it can be enjoyable to do research and go down a rabbit hole and come up with new insights. But I also do use, and I'm using more and more of these like time blocking and productivity tips, because what I found is that I also have like a corporate background. So I'm very used to working long hours. So that's more like my programming is being at a computer the whole time. And when I left my corporate job, the idea was to have more of a lifestyle. And then with COVID and being stuck indoors, it was very easy to revert back to just working because I'm like, okay, well, there's nothing else to do and it's what I know. But I'm now being way more conscious of, okay, let me create these constraints so that I can really focus, be productive, and then make sure that I'm actually living the life that I want to design for myself and not just like acting like an employee.
Yeah, I think it's a very interesting point is that I have not started the business to work more on weekends. I have not started this business to work more in the evening because my partner is still in a 9 to 5 and he's not planning to quit. So I don't want to spend my evening like on my computer while he's here. So I'm very comfortable with having a 9 to 5 schedule, even if I'm working on my own and I can do like basically like I have the freedom to do differently, but I'm very comfortable with that. Like I open my computer at 8:30, I close at like 5:30, 6 max. And then that's it. Like on the weekends, I don't answer. I see also like it's maybe a very cultural thing because in some other countries, people work on Saturday. And on weekend, I'm like completely off. Like and it's a very important boundary for me.
Definitely.
Because again, I haven't started the business to work on weekends. So
no. So it sounds like that's good. You've got your like structures in place of when you like to work, when you like to finish.
Yeah. It's a very boring or classic schedule, like 9 to 5 or 8 to 6 max, but then that's it. Yeah.
But you make that work for you. That's great.
Yeah.
You gave me an idea. Now I've forgotten what it was.
About schedule or about?
Probably about scheduling and about working and maybe, just designing this lifestyle. Maybe I think I know what the question was. Are there any unexpected like surprises or benefits of having started your own company that you didn't realize? Like, is there anything you've enjoyed more that you weren't expecting?
Yeah. I don't think that I realized that you could have like so many genuine connections. Like, as you said, like we met on Instagram and then we met another girl on Instagram, and then it's really nice to have, I feel like I have a community, and I didn't realize that when I started it. So because when you work like a solopreneur, like the other side is that it's very lonely. You're alone in your business, you're alone at home. If you're not very lucky, then your relatives don't understand what you're doing. And it's the online bubble it's very different from the life that I live here. And sometimes it's really like, it's very cool to have like this genuine and authentic person who you can connect with and who are also like down to earth as well. That's very important. And I also met two in real life, two designers on Instagram, and I met them. They live in Copenhagen. So
Nice.
that's so cool. Now they are very good friends. So I'm really happy about that as well.
That's so great. Yeah, I'm loving the whole friendship and community side of things with this online world. And I think definitely lockdown made it easier to connect with people online because we were all like looking for that connection. But finding your community, finding like-minded people who have like similar passions and similar dreams and who've taken that leap to work outside of a more like traditional structure is also, there's just quite a strong connection.
And because you connect with people from any international scope, like it's so rich. Like you get like people from India, Australia, USA. You know, it's very like intense and rich cultural wise. But also a very different thing is that we talked about a lot about this with my partner. Is that when you got out on this, if you follow, let's say, only a certain type of person, then you tend to forget that this is not who you are, or not who you want to be, or this type of thing. It's very important for me to know that, okay, this is their way of doing things, and this is my way of doing things. And I'm seeing that as an example, just for example, a lot of coaches. So I don't use fear-based marketing, but I see a lot of coaches use that, and it works really well. Obviously they're successful, but is that my vision of success? Is that the person I wanna be? Is this how I empower other women to chase their dreams?
Yeah,
I don't think so. So it's very important to also be, how to say that, keep me be grounded.
Yeah.
And yeah, stay true to who you want to be. So
yeah. And when you started your business, did you come up with like the values of what you were basing your business on? It sounds like you're very clear in what you believe, but I just wonder if you made it, like, have you written it out anywhere, or did you define your values before you started your business?
I don't think that I have defined it like very early on my business, but like I said, like I quit my job in France after 3 years, where I was like not feeling at the right place and not doing something like positive. Like I was not doing like any impact like on other people's life. So I knew that research of being impact driven and changing things, that was something that I wanted to do. And the other value is to being authentic. Like I want my clients and I to be able to have a honest conversation about everything, and so that we can still both have a business that we all are aligned with. So my values, my business brand values are basically empowerment, authenticity, and clarity. So yeah, this is I try to do that to communicate that through all the things that I do on stories, on posts, emails, and yeah.
I love it. It's so great. And I agree, like a lot of my business is being a demonstration of what I want to share with other people. So like living my values, expressing them all the time. And like you said, with fear-based marketing, like choosing what I do very consciously because I want it to be an example of how I believe businesses should be run, and doing things differently to what is, like the standard culture that we live in, which can be very patriarchal and capitalist or whatever the things are. So you like, how do you define new ways of working and be an example of that?
Yeah.
Great. Well, is there anything else you want to share before we wrap up? Any other like insights, learnings from this year, inspiration from your business, anything else that's going on for you?
I'd say, keep it real, like keep connecting with people that you actually enjoy connecting with. Like we see that a lot on Instagram, like this, well, I'm sure you get that a lot, like this cold pitching, or on DM sometimes, like the messages would be like, is this how you would talk in real life, for real?
Totally.
Because if it is, I'm like, bye.
Yeah, who are you?
So there's also that, because when you're online or on the internet, you tend to forget, like, as I said, like either who you are or how you actually speak to actual real people in real life. So yeah, just run your business as if you're a solopreneur, just as the person that you are. Like, yeah.
That's great. And the last thing I think is, so can anyone join your Facebook group?
Yes.
And what's it called again?
Yeah, it's called the Profitable Marketing Corner.
Brilliant. Profitable Marketing Corner. And you're going to start the co-working sessions.
Yeah, so I decided to host a co-working session every other week.
Nice.
And the rest of the week where we don't have the co-working session, I'll be going live. So I choose to go live only twice a month because I didn't want to go live, to say that I would go live every week and then be overwhelmed because like it's too much. So I started with like two twice a month. Then I'm just testing out, see how it goes. The co-working, for example, that's the same thing. I am testing out a format of 2 hours, and then see if it's too long or if I should like make breaks in it. So I'll just testing.
I love it. And co-working, I used to run a co-working group with my sister. We did that for about 5 months. And that was once a week. And it was one of the best experiences. I loved it because it's such a great way to have that like drop in that people can come and join. Oh, and we joined Sam's. I think that's where I met you, was Sam's co-working call.
Yes, exactly.
Back in the day. Yeah, so it's like a great way to connect with people. And in terms of time blocking, like it's such an easy way of testing out time blocking because you have that accountability of everyone on the call with you. So to really focus. So I think
during your call, would you have like a specific theme or a topic, or just people like just jump in and then work on their thing for an hour and then that's it?
Yeah, we did it like just show up. If you have work to do, you're just there and get it done. We had them for 90 minutes. And then what we ended up doing was have you heard of the Pomodoro technique?
Yes.
Yes, so you like 25 minutes, 5-minute breaks. So we then started doing that on the calls, which worked really well because after 90 minutes, when we checked in, everyone's like, well, it kind of started well, and then I got distracted, and it would really help to have check-ins. So we would do like literally 25 minutes. Idea. And I think that's quite nice also because then people can drop off if they can't stay the full time. Then it's like these little 25 minutes to join.
Exactly. So and people, if they have question or something to share, then they can share during these breaks. Right? And not doing like this unmute thing for when someone is still working. Yeah, that's a good idea.
It was really good. And that's like during those breaks we would check like, okay, what could we do differently or what would help? And people would come up with suggestions like, okay, I'm going to switch my phone onto airplane mode for the next 25 minutes. Or they just like bring in a few extra things to make that time really productive for them.
Love it. I think I'm going to do that on Thursday.
Nice. Okay. I'm going to put in my diary so I can join you guys. Is it this Thursday, the first one?
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay. Well, thank you so much for being my third guest. It's so nice. And it's such a great chance to chat. I really enjoyed getting to know you better, getting to know more about your business.
Yeah, me too. Thank you for having me. And it's really cool to have a casual chat with you.
Yeah, this has been fun. And I'm hoping at some point in the near future, we can all meet up in real life somewhere in the world. So
that would be so great. Yes.
But until then, I will see you in co-working calls and Facebook groups and challenges and on Instagram.
Yes.
And I'll make sure I'll get all your details from you so people can find you everywhere online.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Leigh. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for coming on. Chat to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.